A nasty uphill drag finish today, crash for the yellow jersey, and some big names are put under pressure before the sprint finish even starts. Paris Stage 3, some ridiculously exciting first couple of stages. This is an Ardennes light style stage, but we're in the middle of France, south of Paris now, to Dun-le-Palestel. There's a 2.5k, 5% climb, Côte de Peru before the Balzac intermediate sprint, and it's just a hilly last third of this stage. We have Christophe Laporte still in the leader's jersey, ahead of Van Aert and Roglic, Vlasov about 28 seconds behind Roglic. The question today was, could Fabio Jakobsen, who was so fast yesterday, make it around this course and to the sprint finish? Would Jumbo-Visma try and put him under pressure? A break with Alexis Goujard, Owen Doul now on EF, and Thomas de Gent went up the road. And it seems that Rowan Dennis, he's in the Tony Martin role for Jumbo-Visma. Durbridge was pacing either for Groves or Matthews, Julian Bernard for Trek and Mads Pedersen. Alpes and Phoenix with Jay Vine were pacing for a lot of the stage for Jasper Philipsen. And I was wondering, would Jumbo-Visma full send these climbs at the end of the stage? Were they too far from the finish? I didn't know. Wout van Aert crashed yesterday. Would they be just confident in him in the sprint finish? I think he was the favourite before this stage. But I've got to say, the support on the videos the last 6 weeks since the season started has been outrageous. Maybe it's because I'm happy. I'm so much happier than I was this time last year when I was doing all this from Australia. I still can't believe that happened. That time of my life feels like a mirage. But David Gaudu not looking good today, nor was Ethan Hayter. Or is it a positioning thing? I couldn't figure it out because he finished really strong in this uphill sprint finish. He seems to be struggling to position himself in the bunch and then finishes fast from bad positions. We'll show that later. Or maybe he's unwell. I'm not sure. A lot of riders are unwell at the moment. Søren Kragh Andersen attacked with 32 k's to go on one of those short, shallow gradient hills, and he didn't get much leash because the breakaway was about a minute ahead of the peloton. He only got 18, 20 seconds at most because the Jumbo train was just shutting this stage down with the help of Trek Segafredo. Because Pedersen looked really good in, I think, Bessèges on an uphill steep finish. This is a bit shallower than that. And Bryan Coquard for Cofidis. They put on an absolute clinic a few weeks ago at Tour de la Provence, if you remember, when he won stage 2 against good competition. They paced the climbs really hard there to drop the big sprinters, and he cleaned up in the uphill drag, I think, to Manosque. So I thought they'd try a similar thing. This climb, 3k's, 5%. No team really lit it up hard. Other teams were able to attack. Cofidis, they didn't have it strung out completely, although Jakobsen was dropped. So for him, his Milano-San Remo ambitions, maybe Lefebvre's looking at this and thinking, if you can't get around this, are you going to get over the Poggio? Probably some work to be done there. Julien Alaphilippe's cousin closes Geniet's, but as I said, the pace wasn't absurdly strong. Jumbo and Bahrain were more controlling proceedings, Jumbo wanting a sprint, and it was a large group. It was dissimilar to what Cofidis did at Provence and Jumbo-Visma when they launched it on stage 1. And once it got into the last 20 k's or so, the roads really narrowed up. It was difficult to move up. Bahrain had Jack Haig in front 10 wheels for a lot of the last half of this stage, and Jumbo with Roglic as well, who actually went for this intermediate sprint. I think he snagged 2 seconds. They caught the break, and everyone, Yates was marking Roglic, and it's actually Pierre de La Tour taking the 3 bonus seconds, Roglic another 2 seconds, so now he goes about 31 seconds ahead of Vlasov. But it ended up being a sprint. Movistar actually took control, showed a lot of faith in Ivan Garcia Cortina today. You see how they strung out the bunch in the last 6 to almost 2 kilometers to go. They did a really strong job, but it kind of went wrong in the finish. You see here, Mads Pedersen's only got 2 lead-out men on the left-hand side. Wout van Aert's got 2. He's got Laporte and Turnison. Garcia Cortina's got 3 guys, but it's 3k's to go. And Jasper Philipsen, from what I could see, was just marking the favourite for the stage. Wout van Aert for the entirety of the run-in to this sprint. It's a pretty wide uphill drag. There's space to move up late, but you need to do it in the wind, which no one really wants to do. And you see with 1,400 meters to go, Movistar don't have Garcia Cortina up there. Germai's in the gutter. He's going to get shuffled back from that position. Coquard is actually on Pedersen's wheel. Good positioning from him with Wout van Aert and Turnison jockeying on either side of his wheel. And Germai does have a guy go to the front and pull, but it doesn't help him because Germai is actually trying to move up. He's deep here. And if you're deep in this circle with about 550, 600 meters to go in this sprint, it's almost impossible for you to win. You're going to have to move up in the wind. Hayter's off screen, and Van Aert has two men who are about to launch him to the right-hand side of Sturven and Pedersen. Turnison pulls off, and it's Laporte who's kind of in the wind before doing his lead-out, drops Wout van Aert off on Pedersen's wheel, who claims it off Coquard. It was in a bit of the wind himself, but the lead-out from Sturven, unbelievably good. He waited for the Intermarché lead-out man to finish, who helped Trek a lot, and then Pedersen launches with 2:50 to go on this uphill drag. It's like a full 20-second sprint. Unbelievable from Pedersen. Hayter, you can see how deep he's coming from. I think the Israel rider fully chops Kevin Genietz, and there's a crash, unfortunately. Laporte goes down, gets straight back up, but Pedersen gaffed Wout van Aert off the wheel with his initial 5-second burst and could just hold it for the entirety of this sprint, winning ahead of Bryan Coquard. Van Aert third. Philipsen got boxed a little bit. You'll see it in the overhead. Coquard took Van Aert's wheel, and then Fred Wright, by the way, another young British talent, he was in the wind for a long time. Would have been interested to see what he could have done with a lead out. I think he would have come in the top 3 here, but I don't think Philipsen had the legs to win this sprint anyway. When he comes out of the left of Coquard, he kind of has to sit down again. Pedersen was just way too strong. He can pull these sort of sprints uphill out of the bag every now and then when he goes early, and he can just keep it going for 20 seconds. Huge win for him. Him and Sturven are very happy afterwards, and that's looking good for Trek Segafredo having a better classic season this year. Pedersen first, Coquard second, Van Aert, Philipsen, Turgis, Gerdemeyer, Wright, Van Poppel, Hayter, and Milano rounding out the top 10. Laporte, as I said, touched down in that crash, but was able to get back up, and because of the 3-kilometer rule, he still keeps the leader's jersey 1 second ahead of his teammate Roglic. Tomorrow, an incredibly stacked TT field for the 13K TT. Dennis, Bissiger, Laporte, Wout van Aert, Stefan Kung. It's definitely going to be one to watch. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you with the recap of that tomorrow. Ciao.